So good evening, everybody. Today we're going to talk about a sutra called Ānāpānasati Sutra. Some of you might have thought about the connection between the topic Ānāpānasati Sutra, the sutra on the breathing meditation, and the Vesak full moon poet day, which has fallen exactly today. There is a huge connection between these two because the Buddha Gautama, he became the Buddha by practicing the Ānāpānasati. So that is the connection. Why? I don't know. I chosen this sutra long ago, but things coincided with our perspective. So I put the topic to be 16 steps that one has to practice for breathing meditation, Ānāpānasati. So this is the standardized way of practicing this. We're going to talk about the modern interpretations and how things have gone wrong or revamped from the original perspective, halfway of the topic. So so 16 steps or 4 tetrads. So that's another way of looking at it. So there are 16 steps one has to practice for this meditation. If you take a look at of these 16, you could also see there are 4 tetrads. So tetrad has 4 steps inside of the tetrad. So that means 4 satipatthana. So Ānāpānasati means that you practice the 4 foundations of mindfulness. But you can practice the 4 foundations. You just practice Ānāpānasati, one of the ways to make it happen, or make those 4 happen. Now, before jumping onto the sutra, I would like to talk about breathing and what is the role of breathing in our body, in our life. For that, I found a kind of a really inclusive explanation from another sutra called Maharahulovada Sutra, another sutra in the Majjhima Nikaya. In that sutra, there are explanations about the 4 elements, as you know, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. Now, Vayu is the seemingly connected thing to breathing. Now, how has the wind element been described by the Buddha? There are 6 types of wind which we have inside of our body. Uddhangama vata, so upgoing winds. So there are upgoing winds. Not at the time that you have the gastric, but things go up, that wind goes up. Adhogama vata, downgoing winds. Probably that is how our food's getting digested, right? There's a wind. Kuchisaya vata, winds in the belly, or abdominal type of wind the Buddha talks about. Kottasaya vata, winds in the chest area, whatever the winds in the chest area called the Kottasaya vata. Anga anganusarino vata, winds that goes through the limbs. So we have so many limbs inside and outside. So there are, of course there is a wind that should help those limbs, function. Right? Assasu passasu, in breath and out breath. So this is one of the breaths from that classification. So that's why I chose that classification. So there are 7 types of winds under the Vayu Dhatu, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayu. So Vayu means the element of wind. Now you know what is the role of breathing in the wind element. Okay. Now, as I told you, this sutra, before the Buddha talks about Ānāpānasati, breathing meditation, he gives kind of a general overview, very nice overview about other meditations and what is the role of breathing in those meditations. And keep in mind, this is one of the very, very important sutras where you see bhavana and meditation those two contexts together. Now, one might ask, where did Buddha talk about bhavana in the same name? So Buddha uses bhavana for the practices we do in the name of meditation in this sutra. So there are 14 types of meditations, including breathing meditation, inside of this sutra. So we'll see. That means we could do any of these, including Ānāpānasati. Okay, the first one. Chatunnang satipatthānang bhavanānuyoga manuyutta viharanti. So that means there were some monks, people who practiced 4 foundations of mindfulness. I think those of you who showed up for my talk that was given on Satipatthana Sutra sometimes back, probably, I don't know, probably in March or April, we talked about different ways of practicing 4 foundations of mindfulness. That's one of the meditations. And not only that, Chatunnang Sammapadhanam, 4 right kinds of exertions or striving. There are 4 types of striving, the right effort. There are 4 ways of putting into those right efforts. So anybody can use those 4 as a meditation. Chatunnang Iddhipadanam, 4 bases for spiritual power. As you may know, Chanda, Chitta, Virya, Vima. These are 4 spiritual powers which are practiced by Buddhas and other Arhants. So contemplating on these 4 can be a meditation too. Is a meditation. Chatunnang Panchannang Indriyana. There are 5 spiritual faculties. What are they? Now we have 5 faculties within us, and there are 5 spiritual faculties as well. So what are the spiritual faculties do we have? Saddha, Virya, Sati, Samadhi, Panya. Saddha is trust. Virya is diligence or effort, right type of effort. Saddha, Virya, Sati, focusing attention or mindfulness. Samadhi, concentration. And then Panya, wisdom. So these are spiritual faculties we have, which means that along the pair of eyes, pair of ears, nose, tongue, body, mind, these are spiritual faculties. We all have different levels of these 5, right? So somebody can use these 5 as an object for meditation, right? Panchannam Balanam. There are 5 powers too. The same 5. Trust is a power, right? Because without trust, we don't exist in a proper way, in a comfortable way, right? Virya, effort. Sati, for mindfulness practice. Concentration and wisdom. They all are powers actually. If we have those, they are actually empowering us in our life. They're empowering our social, personal, normal lives so that we become better people, right? So somebody can use those 5 as powers for the meditation. Sattannam Bojjhanganam, 7 awakening factors. As you know, Sati, Dhammavichaya, Virya, Piti, Passati, Samadhi. I think we're going to talk about those 7 because the 16 steps for the breathing meditation help awaken the 4 foundations of mindfulness. And 4 foundations of mindfulness, help awaken 7 bojjhangas. So, and then that helps anybody to attain the Nibbana, right? That's how the sutra goes. Ariyassa Attangikassa Maggassa, Noble Eightfold Path, Arya Ashtanga Marga, Samma Ditti, Samma Sankappa, Samma Vacha, Samma Kammanta, Samma Ajiva, Samma Vayama, Samma Sati, Samma Samadhi. So these 8 can be used as an object for the meditation. Don't just name them as the list of the Noble Eightfold Path. They can be themselves an object for the meditation. Metta Bhavananuyoga Manuyutta Viharanti. Loving kindness meditation. It's a good, I think we all know we do that, right? But what you don't know is Karuna Bhavananuyoga Manuyutta Viharanti. Karuna also is a meditation. Compassion. Now, unfortunately, a lot of people do, because there is a strategy. There are ways of practicing loving kindness. But people think these are static type of, state of good qualities only. They don't think that there's a way that anybody could put them into a meditation, right? So how can we put them into meditation? Can we sit down and spread the meditation on compassion? No, it's a day-to-day thing, right? So you need to have a good heart to understand others, pain and pleasures, right? So the main type of thing you could sit and do is the Ānāpānasati. Now, can you practice metta to the best of you by sitting? No. You could say, may I be well, happy, peaceful, mama supattimma dukim midingva. But the actual real meditation on metta, loving kindness, is how you spread loving kindness using your daily normal life. If you practice loving kindness here now and then you go back, you're getting angry, grumpy, and you're snappy, and then that's no use of, that's not the fundamental of, that's not the best way of doing this thing. So metta and karuna is a meditation. Mudita bhavananuyuga manayutta viharanti. So one can practice the meditation on altruistic joy too. Mudita is like you are able to be happy when you see somebody is achieving something, accomplishing something, right? Real happiness, not just the fake happiness that you shake hands and you say you wish by sending an email. You need to do that, but you need to do a reality check whether this exists in the bottom of your heart. But keep in mind, it is a meditation, not even metta. So karuna, now mudita, is a meditation too. Upekha, equanimity. Equanimity is the highest state of qualities in Buddhism. In all the numerical type of teachings, upekha is the last one, right? Now see the list of paramita. Dānaṁ sīlaṁ ca nekkammam paññā virīna panchamam kanti saccam adittāna mettupekka timeda. So upekka, equanimity, is the last type of perfection. All the arahants, private Buddhas and fully awakened ones performing, practicing, right? And then in the list of Satta Bojjhanga, Sati Dhammavicaya Virya Pīti Samadhi, Sati Dhammavicaya Virya Pīti Passaddi Samadhi Upekka. So upekka is the highest type of quality. It is not as easy as loving kindness. It is not as easy as compassion. It is not as easy as mudita, altruistic joy. Because upekka means that you are maintaining a kind of an unshaken type of balance when you are complimented, when you are critically criticized for constructive criticism, whatever. What happens if we are overwhelmed when somebody says, you are the person and you did a very good job, okay, I'm the guy, something like that. But we are not feeling, okay, the same person might give me a constructive criticism the next day if I don't perform really well, right? Something like that. It's a huge concept, upekka. So it is a meditation. Asubha. Asubha is foulness. I think I have some, different thoughts about the translations, and in Sinhala we call pilikul bhavana, I think the asubha does not mean the pilikul. Asubha is that you are seeing the unsatisfactory nature of the body. I think when you say, hey, pilikul bhavana, the meditation of foulness, it's a problem. So it's a kind of a translation issue, right? I think the Buddha says, all the pleasures are not subha. Though on the surface level they are subha, but they become asubha at certain point. But there is a level of subha, pleasurable level. But then it turns into a kind of a uncomfortable level of the same thing, right? So I would say, meditation on, the unsatisfactory nature of the things. Rather you're trying to see, parts of the body being very foul and something. Anicca sanya, perception of impermanence, perception of change, right? Whatever the change. So changes. So it's also a meditation, right? If you can see that everything is subject to change, and they are being changed, and they will be changed, it itself is a meditation. And then Ānāpānasati, meditation on breathing. So now Buddha is going to talk about Ānāpānasati. He's going to talk about the real way of practicing Ānāpānasati. Now you get to know that there are a number of other ways of meditations, right? There are a number of meditations in this list. So now Buddha talks about Ānāpānasati. Ānāpānasati bhikkhave bhavita bahulikata chattaro satipatta ne paripuriti. That means when you practice the 16 steps of the Ānāpānasati, you at the same time, what you do indirectly is that you are practicing satipatthana, 4 satipatthanas, 4 foundations of satipatthana, mindfulness. Chattaro satipattana bhavita bahulikata satta bojjangi paripurinti, and then you automatically gets to the next level. So first Ānāpānasati. Ānāpānasati leads to Chattaro Satipatthana, 4 foundations of mindfulness, and that leads to 7 bojjangas. Okay, Satta bojjanga bhavita bahulikata vijja vimuttim paripureti. And then what happens after you into the 7 bojjangas? Then you are into vijja vimutti. What is vijja vimutti? Vijja is wisdom. Wisdom. What is Buddhist wisdom? Seeing things as they are, and then what happens? You get to see the changes of those animate, inanimate things, and then you understand that they bring unsatisfactoriness or dissatisfaction, and then you get to the most important point, that is Ānātma. That is Ānātma. Now this is the most important thing in Buddhism, which helps Buddhism to be different from all type of contemporary philosophies. So in other religions they talk about an atta, like atma, which goes from this life to the other life, right? It's like the river, right? Somebody told you can't get into the same river 2 times, right? You don't know that that amount of water goes that fast, right? Anyway, so Ānātma, you get to the Ānātma point. What is Ānātma? You can't take anything as being myself, I, me, myself. You can't say, I meditated today, right? No, there was a meditation happens, right? You can't say I, me, myself. But conventionally speaking, yes, this is my car, I need to turn it on, turn it off, something like that. But on the ultimate level, on the higher level of Buddhist understanding, you don't have that I, me, myself. And that is why there are a lot of problems in the world. I, me, myself issue. Because we get to see everything from the perspective of I, me, myself. I see this way. I don't understand what you're talking about. I mean, this is what happens in our daily conversations. But I think the whole issue, all the problems of the world, including around beyond, have happened because we don't have a good understanding of Ānātma concept. Ānātma. There is no self, but we try to label, we try to, brand everything. I mean myself. Okay. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it is of great fruit, great benefit. When mindfulness of breathing is developed and cultivated, it fulfills the 4 foundations of mindfulness. When the 4 foundations of mindfulness are developed and cultivated, they fulfill the 7 awakening factors. When the 7 awakening factors are developed and cultivated, and then they fulfill true knowledge and deliverances. I would say liberation. True knowledge is the wisdom, which is the Ānātma concept in Buddhism. Now, there is a huge type of controversy about the next paragraph. This is about the posture of the mind, the breathing meditation. There's a huge conversation going on. I have all the information with me. Aranya gatova, rukkamula gatova, sunyagara gatova, Nisidati pallankang abujitva ujunkayam panidaya parimukang sating upattapetva so sato asasati sato pasasati. Now the meaning, here someone gone to the forest or to the root of a tree or to an empty hut or empty place, sits down having folded his or her legs crosswise, set his or her body erect and establish mindfulness in front of him. This is the problem where things have gone wrong. In front of him. Ever mindful, he breathes in or she breathes in. Mindful, he, she breathes out. Now we know that why we need to find out a very calm, quiet place for this meditation. Because it's breathing. It's not like compassion. It's not like loving kindness. It's not like other meditations. For this meditation, we should have a good place, calm, quiet place, because we are going to experience the breaths. They are very subtle, right? And why Buddha asks us to sit upright in this meditation? That also matters. If you don't sit upright in the breathing meditation, that ruins your meditation. And you know, when you always sit upright, there's a good blood flow going up and down, right? Now the issue comes up with parimukang sati. What is parimukang sati? Now, there are modern translations by many, and modern interpretations about this thing. Now, you know, there were interpretations developed by some other regional, traditions like Burmese tradition, especially in the Burmese tradition, Vipassana tradition, right? Now, that is why you get to see watching the rise and fall of the abdomen is the breathing meditation. That's what they say. One of the traditions. I think in the West, this is very popular. You go look at the rise and fall of the abdomen. Right? That's one way. And someone else said, the resting spots of the breath. There are a few identified places for the resting spots of the breath, and one has to only look at those places. The tip of the nose, the middle of the head, the palate, the base of the throat, the breastbone, navel, or somewhere upper. So one who needs to do the breathing meditation has to focus on these places. And actually, Buddha never said to watch the breaths in a physical form. That's what I think. Because if you're going to pay attention to a physical place for the breathing, then you are trying to entertain again another set of panchaskandha or your aggregates. That's why there is a new movements going on about do not locate breaths, right? Now in the commentaries and in some Abhidhamma works, they talk about what is to be parimukang sati. They say mukha samipeva nasikagdeva atto. It's around the mouth or tip of the nose. Actually, that is not what this word called parimukang sati talks about. Parimukang sati means in front of you. In front of you. So you don't need to locate breathing, because if you're going to locate breathing, you're into a different type of clinging. In front of you means now you get your breathing, especially in front of especially the winds that are going here and there in front of you. So you're just going to be only conscious about the breathing, not a place for the breathing. So that's why I would ask you to go that way and never try to locate breaths, and that would take you to a different type of misunderstanding, like a type of distraction, right? Because then you only look at, oh, okay, so that is the tip of the nose, and you see, now that is my abdomen, so my abdomen, right? There are nothing such called abdomen, right? In this ultimate understanding, right? Just the breathing, just the breathing. Okay, so those were the type of interpretations about the breathing. Now I'm going to talk about the 16 steps to practice breathing meditation. 1 to 4, they are passive, non-judgmental, mental type of nodding. In that you don't need to. That's why I asked. Now the first 4, I would say The first one, breathing in long, he, she understands, I breathing long, or breathing out long, he, she understands, I breathe out long. But that is not an exaggerated breathing. Whenever you have a long type of breath in and out, you are non-judgmentally watching that long breath coming and going out, right? The second one, breathing in short, he, she understand, I breathe in, out short. Whenever you have a short type of breath, then you non-judgmentally watch that breathing breath. And then the third step is, he, she trained us, I shall breathe in and out, experiencing the whole body. Now sometimes you get a feeling when you do the breathing meditation, like you experience the whole body with the breathing, right? Whole body with the breathing. When you mindfully watch your breathing, you feel like this breathing is all across the body. That is this third step. And then, he, she trains us, I shall breathe in and breathe out, tranquilizing the bodily formation. Okay? What are the bodily formations? Bodily formations are breathing in and out. Asasa, pasasa. They are the bodily formations, right? In this context. So now, at some point, you feel you feel a sense of breathing all across the body. At the same time, you feel there is a tranquility with that breathing all across the body. But don't judgmentally do that. This will happen time to time when you are into breathing. So these four must be done with a passive, non-judgmental, mental nodding context. They are not exaggerated, deliberate type of steps. These are actually happening without effort. So there are four first steps. And the rest are deliberate. There should be an effort to do. So now the first four relate to the Ānāpānasati in the Satipatthana, right? Now, what are the next four from 5 to 8? It's about Vedana. Vedana means feelings, right? He, she trains thus, I shall breathe in and breathe out, experiencing rapture, piti. Now we get to a point of piti, like a spiritual type of piti. And this is very related to the dhyanas, jhanas actually. In the jhanas you get to know there's piti, sukha, ekaggata, right? You feeling very happy. It's not a normal type of joy. It's kind of a rapture. The commentator Buddhaghosa introduces this to be something like if you are on a journey and you are into a kind of a desert and you don't have enough water, and then if you find water, before you drink in that water, you feel so happy. That is the same type of rapture that he is actually relating to here. And after you drinking, what's the kind of happiness you're having? That is a sukha actually in this context. The first thing, the fifth step means when you breathing in and out, you feel you experiencing rapture, because it's a feeling, right? Because after the bodily things, you get to a feeling, and that feeling has rapture. And then the sixth step is experiencing bliss. That means piti and sukha, right? Because you don't look happy if you don't have a joy within that, right? The seventh step is experiencing the mental formation. Mental formation. What are the mental formations? We call chitta sankhara. Mental formation means Vedana and Sankhara, right? They are the mental formations. Vedana means painful and pleasurable type of feelings, and neither painful nor pleasurable feeling. Those are three types of feeling. And Sankhara, formations. They are the chitta sankharas. Now you get to feel Chitta Sankhara in the 7th step while you're doing the breathing meditation. Number 8, what happens in that means you are tranquilizing those mental formations. Now usually what happens, our feelings are not tranquilized all the time. We have a very fussy nature of our feelings, right? We pick something over the other thing. I feel like somebody can say, okay, I'm not comfortable sitting on the bench. Not now, I'm not referring to anybody here. So I want to make a change because I feel the expectant result, the expectant comfort will be much happier than the one that I'm having so far. Now, Chitta Sankhara means that now, as I told you, they are Vedana and Sankhara, or feelings and formations. Now you experience those two, and now you having a tranquility of those two after experiencing them. So those are the 4 other steps. So 5, 6, 7, 8. Those are related to Vedana or feeling. And then you get to the other 4, third tetrad. That is related to Chitta or mind. Now this person experiences the mind actually in a better way. After the body, first it was the body, and then it was the feeling, and then that person is in a better place to feel the mind. Now that person experiences the mind while breathing in and out. Number 10, step 10 is now this person gladdens the mind. Gladdens in a better way, right? We can gladden the mind using different things, but at this point, that person can really be truly happy, truly glad about what he or she's been doing so far, while breathing in and out. Now have you heard these things while you're doing the meditation, breathing meditation? You never thought about it. You only knew the first 4, right? Those are actually non-judgmental, steps. But these are deliberate. We need to make them happen. Step number 11 is concentrate the mind. Now, you experience the mind, and then you gladden the mind. Now you're in a better place to concentrate that mind, right? And then the last one is then you can liberate the mind, right? What are you going to liberate your mind from? From the defilements, right? So we always trying to liberate our mind from the defilements, right? So mind is always naturally, automatically up for the defilements. So now you are in a better place to liberate that mind from the defilements. And then the last 4, we call them Dhammanupassana, or objects of the mind. What is Dhammanupassana? Dhammanupassana means whatever the mental objects, right? Mind objects, right? What are the mind objects? What do you find with your mind? Any type of states, right? That you have for you. I would say thoughts, right? Mind objects. Now what happens? This person is up for a different type of, very highest type of stages in his meditation, breathing meditation. Now she contemplates impermanence, anicca-ānāpānasati. Now, this is a very good point, right? Now, we are being asked to actually look at things being impermanent. But now, the person who has gone to this extent under 13, the step 13, she in a better place to look at anything from around and beyond, from anicca, or impermanence or change. And then this person contemplates fading away, viraga. Viraga is dispassion, not passion, right? Now when you look into the impermanence, then if you understand impermanence in a more deeper way, kind of in a more kind of a subtle way, and then you get to the dispassion. You are not passionate about things in an unnecessary way, right? Step number 15 is she contemplates cessation. Cessation is, what is cessation? right? We bring to a complete standstill our involvement in samsara. Complete stop in this. Actually, this, when somebody comes to these 4 stages, that person almost into nirvana, right? Cessation means that a complete stop of samsara. The last step is contemplating relinquishment, patinissagga. Patinissagga means that person contemplates about the relinquishment, patinissagga. That means completely let go all the identification with samsara. Do we have a lot of identifications in our life? Yes, we have a lot of identifications, right? Starting from personality and and things that we own and things we're going to own in the next couple of months, in the next couple of years. Especially, do we have a bucket list? I mean, it's okay, but but we all identify things, and then that is why we have a lot of identities. But on a mundane level, we need some identity, right, to be a good person. But on the spiritual level, according to Buddha, we need to let go all the identifications. That is why we are into so many problems. So now these are 16. There are 16 steps for the breathing meditation. One has to start from the first 4. Those are non-judgmental, non-intentional, 4, and then take the final stage to the rest of the 12. So that's what one has to do. And what Buddha says after introducing these 16, now he relates the connection of the 16 steps into 4 foundations of mindfulness. How he connects those 4. After practicing the first 4, then what happens to the person who is been practicing the meditation? He gets to a point like this. Kāyesu kāyañatarāna. Now he or she understands this is a certain body among the other bodies, namely in breathing and out breathing. Now she understands this is not me, I, me, myself. This is just a body, and in that body, in that certain body, there is just in breathing and out breathing. That means Kāyanupassana. The first 4 reflect the Kāyanupassana. After practicing the next 4, the second tetrad, she gets to a point. Vedanasu vedananya taraha. This is a certain feeling among the feelings. Then he or she understands that there are a bunch of feeling, and this is just a feeling among the other feeling. That means Vedananu Passana. That person does not relate, this is me, myself feeling. This is just a feeling, just a body. Kāyanupassana, Vedananupassana. After practicing the third tetrad, she understands, Nāham bhikkhave mutta satissa asampajanassa Ānāpānasati bhavanang vadāta. Now, what is in the Chittanupassana? In the Chittanupassana, what happens is that that person develops a very strong understanding about the mind with mindfulness. And Buddha says, if somebody is not up for mindfulness, this connection will not happen. So Chittanupassana means that the person is so much into mindfulness, and we call it sati sampajana, right? That means mindfulness or focusing attention and awareness. And there is an interesting word here, Vinaya loke abhijja domanassa. What does that mean? Now that person abandons covetousness for the world and for himself. What is covetousness? I think we are always covetous for the things that we have, and probably things we don't have at this point. That is why we are so unhappy. And this person, having practiced sati or mindfulness and sampajanya awareness with 4 type of right efforts, she is into a point, happiness, where she does not try to be covetous for the things she has not gained so far. That means there is this huge I, me concept, right? That's why we're going to see the world and things we haven't seen from I, me, myself concept. The last one, after practicing the 4th tetrad, she gets to a point, tam panya is diswa sadhukang ajjupekkita hoti. Having seen with wisdom the abandoning of covetousness and grief, she closely looks on the equanimity. Now, what's the purpose of the Dhammanupassana? Dhammanupassana is the foundation of mind objects. The purpose of the fourth type of mindfulness practice is to stay balanced. I mean, be into equanimity, so that you are not into those I, me, myself concept. And you know what happens when somebody is into the 16 steps, and then they lead to these four foundations of mindfulness, and then what happens in that person? The 7 type of awakening factors arise. Sati, a strong type of mindfulness. Dhammavichaya, strong type of interest in investigating the dhammas, the dhamma factors. And then in that person, Sati Dhammavichaya Virya, this effort, the huge strong type of effort arises in him or her. And then Piti, rapture. Passaddhi means tranquility. Upekka, Samadhi, concentration, and Upekka, equanimity. So those 7 arise in that person after she is into four foundations of mindfulness. Not even that, at the end what happens after that person is into the the awakening factor called Upekka, he is into Vijja and Vimutti. Vijja is wisdom. As I told you at the beginning, the Buddhist wisdom is to practice Ānāpānasati. Ānāpānasati is that you are not trying to relate yourself to that Atma. So Buddha says that we don't have an Atma, but we have a conventional type of Atma. Like this is, we need that. But on the spiritual level, on the deeper level, Buddha says we don't have an Atma. It is Anatma. So if we understand Anatma, that means there is no person, there is no element, and that is being an empty place. And that is what we need to understand. That is the wisdom that Buddha talks about. And then after wisdom, you are into liberation, Nibbana. Now I think you got a sense of what are these 16 steps in the breathing meditation, and what those 16 steps lead to. They are 4 foundations of mindfulness, and they lead to 7 awakening factors. That means you are, at the end, you are becoming awakened or into Nibbana. So now these are the 16 steps the Buddha used for becoming, Bodhisattva used for becoming the Buddha. So I think this was a good day to discuss these 16 steps, to understand what kind of a breathing meditation and what was the real type of meditation, breathing meditation, the Buddha Gautama used for being the Buddha. So I think now if you have any questions, so please ask those questions. We have some time.
You said that when you breathe, don't try to see that it falls, I mean, try to locate the breath, I mean, sort of. So I think we were told
To locate.
And that to see. And I was also, when I feel that one, I thought that I'm doing the meditation or breathing meditation better. That means I'm succeeding. Now I'm lost.
I think nobody is lost. What happens is that we are so happy to physically locate this thing when you do anything.
Yeah.
But that is not what the original text talks about. The original text just says parimukhaṃ sati. It doesn't mean nasikageva or mukha samipeva. No around the face, the face, or no around not on the tip of the nose. It just say mukha samipeva. That means in front of you. So in front of you means in front of your frontal place of your face, right? There is the wind goes here and there, And then if you're going to locate breathing, that is another type of distraction, but you don't know it's a distraction. But you are happy because you know where is the tip of the nose. Because of that you are happy. Because you know where is the tip of the nose. Because you know where is the face. That's why you are happy, not because you are developing the meditation. I mean, anybody of us, if you're going to do. So Buddha says simply that do not locate the breath, because you can't locate the breath. It's a very subtle type of thing, right? Just, give a non-judgmental watching of the breath, and then just the functional aspect of the breathing, right? The functional aspect is just breathing, not the nose, not the face or whatever, right? So we just need to, give a non-judgmental, watching about the frontal place of the face in front of us, right? Not just one or the other place. So that is kind of a distraction, I guess. Because the commentaries and some of the Abhidhammic explanations talk about mukha samīpeva nasika kevatu. I mean, they were the point. That's why some non-scholars and scholars were talking about watch the rise of the abdomen, rise and fall of the abdomen. That's another type of distraction, because then you are only looking at your abdomen, not the breathing. Mm-hmm. So our focus must be the breathing, the functional aspect, not what causes the function, not how the function is being caused. So the functional aspect is the only thing we need to be conscious. That is just breathing. That is in front of us, because you feel that the breathing comes in and out. You can't locate that thing. Now see, for example, like the mind. Now in the Abhidhamma, they're trying to locate the mind. That's in the heart. Right? In the Abhidhammic explanations, they're going to locate the heart. They say it's a very subtle place in the heart. Because they call it Hadaya Vattu. But in the sutras, they say Durangamang Asarirang. Mind has no body. Mind has not a place in the body. Right? It's a subtle place. So these are different types of explanations actually. But I would say, as the mind, we just trying to focus on the function. This function, that's just the breathing, not how we breathe. Where are we gonna breathe? And if we go to that extent, I'm sure that we into a type of distortion, distraction too. And then we're trying to see which part of the tip of the nose where I'm going to get the breath. Yeah, so this is a distraction. Yeah. It's not necessary, and that's why it's not good to lock it. But when somebody says, hey, you can lock it, and be so happy, because we know the locations of the body, tip of the nose, face, whatever the other places, abdomen. We are so happy about it because we know them.
So how do you understand that you are doing fine, that you are getting somewhere?
Yeah, you're getting somewhere, because actually you are not judgmental in the first 4 steps, right?
Yeah.
So that means long breath, short breath,
yeah.
Long breath, short breath, experience in the body, and then tranquilizing the body, I guess, right? So in those 4, you are not judging those 4. They just happen the way they are meant to be. But after the 4th step, that means starting from the 6th stage, we need to intentionally do things. Okay. That means, if you non-judgmentally watching the first 4, that takes you to the 5th level, which means if you really want to take it to the next other levels, they are deliberate. They take you to liberation, Nibbana. I think it's a very, this progression is a very, very case-specific self thing. And you know what you've been going through with the breathing meditation. There's no one single way of introducing, hey, this is what you're going to get while you're doing this. But the nature of the, progression are the 16 steps. Rapture and those 16 steps. මම හිතන්නේ මම කියපු එක තේරුණාද දන්නේ නැහැ. මම කතා කරේ ආනාපානසති සූත්‍රය සම්බන්ධව. එකකින් කියන්නේ ආනාපානසති භාවනාව කියන්නේ එක භාවනාවක් පමණයි. මේ භාවනා 14න් ඊට වැදගත් දෙයක් තියෙනවා. මෙත්තා විතරයි අපි භාවනාවක් වශයෙන් කරන්නේ. ඒක නම් හදාගෙන මම සූපත් වෙම්මා දුකි මේ වගේ. නමුත් කරුණා මුදිතා උපේක්ඛා කියන ඒවාත් එහෙම තියෙනවා. නමුත් අපි ඒවා බොහොම වෙලාවට බලාගෙන නැහැ. ඇත්තට මේවා කරන්න ඕන. ඉතින් ඒක එකක්. ඊළඟට ආනාපාන සතියේ බුදුහාරෝ එනවා. ආනාපාන සතියේදී බුදුහාරෝ ප්‍රකාශ කරන්නේ ඒකේ ක්‍රම ඒක තියෙනවා පියවරවල් 16ක්. ඒකේ පළවෙනි 4 අපට මේ අපි බලෙන් කරන්න බෑ. ඒ 4 නිකම්ම වෙන 4ක්. ඉතිරි 12 අපිට යම්කිසි බලයක් පාවිච්චි කරන්න වෙනවා. ගැළපෙන සාමාන්‍ය බලයක්. ඒ මොකද ඒ ටික යොමු වන්නේ නිර්වාණය කරා. දැන් හිතන්නකෝ නිකන් මේ ආස්වාස ප්‍රස්වාසය බලන් ඉන්න කෙනෙක් එකපාරට නිවන් යන්නේ නැහනේ. මොකද එතන non judgmental දෙයක් තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේ 16 අපි ටෙට්‍රාඩ් එකක් කිව්වේ හතරේ කාණ්ඩ 4ක් තියෙනවානේ. ඒතර ඒ 4 කාණ්ඩ 4ක් කියන්නේ පළවෙනි 4 වැටෙන්නේ කායानुපස්සනාවට. දෙවෙනි 4 වැටෙන්නේ වේදනානුපස්සනාවට. තුන්වෙනි 4 වැටෙන්නේ චිත්තානුපස්සනාවට. හතරවෙනි 4 වැටෙන්නේ ධම්මානුපස්සනාවට. එතකොට දැන් මේ 16 තුල කරලා තියෙන්නේ සතර සතිපට්ඨානේ වඩන එකනේ. ඒ කියන්නේ එතනින් ඒක ගෙනියනවා ඒ පුද්ගලයාව සත්ත බොජ්ජංග ධර්ම. නේ සති ධම්ම විචේ විරිය පීති පස්ස සමාධි උපේක්ඛා කියන 4. උපේක්ඛා කියන தත්වෙට එනකොට කෙනෙක් ඒ කියන්නේ යාගේ මනසේ නිර්මාණය වෙනවා ප්‍රඥාව. ඒ කියන්නේ විද්‍යාව කියන්නේ ඒකයි. ප්‍රඥාව කියන්නේ විමුක්තිය ඊළඟට. විඥා කියන ප්‍රඥාව, විමුක්ති කියන්නේ නිවන. එතකොට මේ ආනාපාන සතිය අපිව ගෙනියන්නේ නිවනට. ඒක තමයි කිව්වේ. ඒ වගේම අපි කතා කරා අර පරිමුඛං සතින් කියන වචනේ තියෙන වැරදි අදහස් ටික වැරදි කියන්නේ ඒවා මේ එක රටවල් වල දැන් මේ බුරුම ට්‍රැඩිෂන් එකෙත් මේවා තියෙනවා. මුගක් ඒවා ඒ හාමුදුරුවෝ කරපුවා තියෙනවා. මේවා හොඳ දේවලුත් තියෙනවා. හැබැයි දැන් මෙතන එකක් තමයි මේ යටිබඩේ මේ නැගීම සහ එතනින් දැන් ඒවා එක එක අර්ථකථන. දැන් හිතන්නකෝ අපි එතකොට යටිබඩ දිහා බලන්න ගියොත් අපිට අර බ්‍රීතිං නෙමෙයි ඊට පස්සේ අපි කල්පනා කරන්නේ යටිබඩ ගැන. ඊළඟට මේ නේද? එහෙම නෙවෙන්නේ නේ. ඊළඟට නාසයේ අග සහ මුව අතරේ කියන්නේ මූණේ ඉස්සරහා තියෙන ටික හොයන්න ගියොත් අපිට එතන වෙන්නේ එක්තරා තැනකට අපට ආස්වාස ප්‍රස්වාස නෙමෙයි අපි බලන්නේ අර ටිකට මොකද්ද වෙන්නේ කියලා. ඒතර එතන වෙන්නේ අපි තව වෙනත් පැත්තකට යන. බුදුහාරුවේ මොකක්වත් ඕනේ නැහැ. බුදුහාරුවේ බ්‍රීතිං විතරක් හිතන්න. ඒ කියන්නේ මේ ආස්වාස ප්‍රස්වාසයේ විතරයි අපි හිතන්නේ. ඒක විතරයි. හැබැයි දැන් අර මම ඉස්සෙල්ලා උත්තරයක් දුන්නේ දැන් නාසයේ අග හෝ මේ tip of the nose හෝ නැත්නම් දිවේ මැද හෝ එහෙම හිතනකොට කෙනෙකුට සතුටුයි. මොකද දැන් ඒ තැන් එයා දන්නවනේ. එයා මේ වෙනකොට ඒ තැන් දන්නවා හොතට. නමුත් ඊට පස්සේ වෙන්නේ ඒ ටිකට විතරයි. ඒ ටික තමයි ඔළුවේ වැඩිපුර පවතින්නේ. ඔළුවේ වැඩිපුර මේ tip of the nose, middle of the around lips around here. ඒක මෙතන ඇත්තටම කියන්නේ මේ අපි කවතනකවත් ශාරීරික තැනක ලොකේට් කරන්න හොඳ නෑ මේ බ්‍රීතිං කියන එක. අපි අපේ in front of us කියන තැන. ඒතර අපි ඉස්සරහා තියෙන වාතාවරණයත් එක්ක අපි ආස්වාස ප්‍රස්වාසයේ පමණක් වෙනවා කියන හැඟීමට තමයි අපි එන්නේ. ඒක එකපාරට පොඩි ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් ලෙවල් එකක් තියෙනවා. පොඩි ඇබ්ස්ට්‍රැක්ට් ගතියක් තියෙනවා ඒකේ. ටෙක්නිකල් ගතියක් නෑ. ටෙක්නිකල් ගතිය කියන්නේ ටිප් ඔෆ් ද නෝස් කියලා. නමුත් ඒක තමයි අපි කරන්නේ. තව මොන හරි ප්‍රශ්න තිබෙනවද? Are there any questions? If there are no more questions, we can transfer the good karmas, right? So let's share all the good karmas with the departed relatives and the deities. May they actually share in all these good karmas. May they be happy and peaceful. May they all attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana. So let's give a sadhu and recite the stanzas. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti sukita huntu ñātayo. Idamme ñāti nang hotu sukita huntu ñātayo. Ettavata ca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe deva sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe bhuta sabba sampatti siddhya. Ettavata ca amhehi sambatang punya sampadang sabbe satta Sabba Sampatti Siddhya Ākāsattha ca Bummattha Devānāgā Mahindika Puññantang Chirang Rakkang Tuluka Sāsanang Ākāsattha ca Bummattha Devānāgā Mahindika Puññantang Chirang Rakkang Tudesanang Ākāsattha ca Bummattha Devānāgā Mahindika Puññantang Chirang Rakkang Tumang Paranti. Finally, let's make a great wish. May all the good karmas we've been accumulating so far help all of us to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana as well. Give a sadhu. And I'm going to bless you with a couple more stanzas. Abhivadana silis nichang vadha pacha inu chattaru dhamma vadhanti ayuvannu sukhang balang ayurarogya sampatti saggha sampatti mevacha ato nibbana sampatti iminati saminchatu. Okay, have a good night.